Hello and everyone, back to the Calvin Crypto video. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're back with another banger PulseChain video giving us the latest and greatest of crypto news. Today will be a little bit on the shorter side, but I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. Take a nice break from looking at the charts every single day. Nonetheless, guys, you understand the best investors, what do they have to do? Absolutely nothing for long periods of time. That's the simple game about being an investor. It's way less stressful than being a trader as well. But let's talk about what's going on in PulseChain. What's the latest to get you guys up to date with the macroeconomics? Are we still bullish? Is the altcoin still on? Why are we seeing red today? Remember, in weekends, don't expect too much action during basically weekends. And of course, if you're ever in doubt, zoom out. Let's look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and a major correction going on with Ethereum, which is expected. We're going to see a retest because, of course, looking at other metrics like the fear and greed, we went up a little bit too rapidly. So we're going to expect to probably retest a little bit here and there or consolidate. But let's look at how Bitcoin is doing in terms of price. First of all, Bitcoin is still over six figures. Beautiful. We want to keep that over the six-figure level. Ethereum is just under 2.5K. That's fine. And remember, they had the Pectra upgrade that's rolled out from testnet, and that kind of actually what broke the kind of the third cycle curse that a lot of people label it as. And you can see here that we've had a is this the fourth one, two, maybe? Yeah, this is the fourth green consecutive week of ETH BTC recovering, which is really, really great. And hopefully we continue to see this anywhere from, I don't know, 0.04 and above. That's where I really expect prime time altcoin season. Now, are we in altcoin season mode? No, we're not, for a lot of other reasons, like looking at the Bitcoin dominance. It is still very, very high at 63%. Usually, hopefully we see it. The last time we had a retest, which was exactly 365 days from the Bitcoin halving, it fell down to 55%, but nothing under that. So that was a very clear false breakdown, which is crazy. Remember, because yes, we are kind of going through the longest bear market ever. We can clearly see this by obviously looking at things like the Global Liquidity Index. This is another one. PMI is one of my favorites as well. The Purchasing Managers Index, where I believe it measures like 300 manufacturers, kind of purchasing managers index, I guess, their purchasing power. And yeah, usually what people say is that anything above 50 is expansion. And yeah, basically anything under 50 basically means that the manufacturing sector is contracting. So hopefully we see anything above 50 now. We did reach that previously. And again, that was kind of a false breakout. But usually people keep an eye on 52 or above. Moving on to other things like the M2 money supply, you can clearly see that we have a great time ahead of us. I'm really looking forward to 2025, yet alone 2026, with the second wave that is usually higher than the first one. But all I'm telling you guys, make the most out of this altcoin season. It happens one out of 4 years. But with Bitcoin, we already know this, and at least the OG viewers that saw me talk about, and especially the members exclusive videos are really go in detail about this, how Bitcoin, kind of a rule of thumb, but it's actually proven looking at Global Liquidity Index and stuff like the macro summer cycle, where Bitcoin goes 3 out of 4 years. 2026 is possibly going to be that year where it starts falling down, and possibly 2027 is basically bear market, where it's the best time for you to switch your stable coins into Bitcoin, etc. Whatever you want to do. That's a whole nother video, but I'm telling you guys, we have a clear path towards 150K plus Bitcoin. So that's really great. Now, that's kind of my conservative price target for Bitcoin. Now, are we gonna go to 200K? I've seen people talk about 300K. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna happen. Really, let's be realistic here. And anyways, people who watched my previous video understand that it's actually not really great to have a fixated number in your mind, because that could have you be emotionally attached to that number. Where, for example, let's say you're leveraging your Bitcoin, whatever, and I don't really recommend leveraging, but let's say you're holding your bag, right? And this can be, by the way, the same thing said with INC, for example. It's a very bullish token, one of the blue chips of PulseChain. It's a multi-bull run hold, like you'd hold that for multiple bull runs, in my opinion, along with Hex, eHex, PulseX. You guys already know. PWBTC, PDAI, those are tokens that you'd hold for multiple bull runs to come. But imagine now you fixate a price target, which is, let's say, $1,000 per INC, and then in the first wave it only reached $300, but then you didn't take You didn't take any profits because you're too fixated emotionally on that target where you'd feel like, oh my God, no, I feel, oh, what if it does another 3x from here? What if it does another 10x? I can make even more money. And then you miss out and you didn't take any profits. And now you're kind of forced to wait the whole bear market for the next until the next phase of the business cycle. So please keep that in mind. What you need to do is actually look at the external macroeconomic metrics and come up, like, write a list of rules. For example, something that majority of people say, even our friend Somi, for example, if Coinbase is the number one app on App Store, that is a top signal. Therefore, it's the euphoric phase. Therefore, I need to start taking profits per day / per week. Okay, so keep that in mind. Write a whole list of metrics with their thresholds, and then you can kind of come up with your system that you have to follow, no matter what you feel. The worst thing that you can do is to marry your bags. There's two types of fear: the fear of missing out, where you're buying a green candle, and the fear of, again, it's kind of another type of fear where you want to hold on to something because you feel like there's more profits to be made when it's actually healthier to take profits. Now, it's a very tough balance to strike in the middle, right? Because I'm here talking about conviction. I'm here talking about delaying gratification. I'm here talking about, really believing in what you hold. But you have to understand the euphoric phase. I can make a whole separate video about it. If you guys really want me to dig deeper into that, comment down below. I can probably even make an article on that. I'll make another article. If you guys missed out on my first article about PwC, it is in the description below. You guys are absolutely amazing, by the way. Thank you very much for all the comments. I'm going to quickly go through the highlighted ones, and a big thank you to all the YouTube members, the new YouTube members as well. Big shout out to all you guys. And yeah, to the higher comments here from Jim says, like your videos, PTGC will be king, I believe. Oh, I believe that as well. It's easily the top one meme coin on Pulsechain. You gotta respect it, guys. It literally perfects and mastered Hart's Law. Okay, and you might say, oh, Hart's Law, it's all about liquidity webs. Yeah, but you understand, it's with the tokenomics. It literally multiplies the benefits of a Hart's Law, because now you have the arbitrage bots and people who are holding, people who are staking, making even more reflections, and then you have UFO with liquidity incentives, and now you have X with, they're expanding, they're building. Big shout out to CoachX. I just want to say, big shout out to CoachX, because people are like him and the team behind him, and obviously some of them I might not know their names, but I just want to say thank you for everything that you do, because you make PulseChain a better place. Because again, guys, one of the best ways to get people to PulseChain, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not by saying, oh, we're 17% quicker than Ethereum. Oh, we're, you know what I mean? Like, they actually don't care that much about the tech. They care more about what? Again, put your mind in the retail investor. They care more about green candles. Okay? Even though I'm here talking about buy the red candles, don't buy the green candles, they actually don't care about what I'm saying. They just want to see an already happening green candle. They want to see someone who made 100x, and then they will be like, okay, I want to buy that token. It is what it is. And I'm telling you, what's the main narrative of this bull run? Undoubtedly, you might hate it, and I'm going to say it right now. And I made a tweet about it. We're going to go through this, and it's meme coins. Okay, people don't care that much about utility. People don't care that much about tech. They just care about meme coins, something that's relatable, something that has those psychological checklists. You know what I mean? That's funny, easy to understand. You tell them teddy bear. 3 seconds for them to be like, oh yeah, I love this already. Everyone loves a teddy bear. Dogecoin, so easy, understandable. You know what I mean? Memes, guys. It's cultural. Okay? But we need that impulsion. We can show people, hey, this is Solana, right? You have a bunch of celebrity meme coins with people who are scamming you, giving them a bad impression about what crypto is. Because those people who are loyal to their, for example, those celebrities, I don't know, like Jason Derulo, God, hey, even Andrew Tate. I know he's probably one of the better ones to name, but I don't know, Iggy with 50 Cent, literally, guys, people who launched meme coins, and I think even Dave Portnoy, I think he made like a tweet where he shilled 12 meme coins, guys, 12 meme coins all at once. Like, bro, that's the clearest value extraction. Like, it's actually really saddening to see, because a lot of people think like, oh, this is how they have to make money, and then people are like, the only way for you to be making money if you're a scammer, or if you're the one who actually launched the token, which doesn't necessarily mean you're a scammer, but I'm just saying that's the second step, or basically if you're an insider. Okay, and usually with insiders, they dump on people's heads. Okay, people who don't believe, disingenuous. So PulseChain, we have a chance here to lead that with the DeFi season. You guys already know with PDAI PWC narrative, we have a chance to lead that with our meme coins, PTGC. Okay, what's going to initially attract them? Alien tech. Beautiful, simple. Hey, are you interested in alien tech? Do you believe in aliens? Yeah, we have a whole community that believes in that in PulseChain. They're going to come in and be like, whoa, this is so sick. And then they're going to want to stay around once they learn more about the tokenomics. What's Hart's law? Who's Richard Hart? I want to stay here and learn more. So we attract them initially by those mascots, the memes. Teddy bear. Everyone loves a teddy bear. Everyone had a teddy bear. Easy, simple. So this is what I said. And this is my tweet, and I don't really like to FUD other projects, but I just wanted to make this tweet just to see what are people's reaction. Because remember, guys, at the end of the day, I had people who ask me, PDAI versus Hex, because at some point, PHEX and PDAI were like 1-to-1, okay? And to me, it's like, bro, why do you have to choose when you can just have the best of both worlds? They're both tokens on a separate race with different paces. Both can win. You don't need to, you know, uh, you don't need, no, sorry, not one of them need to win at the expense of the other. You understand that? So I'm going to say the same thing here with Teddy and Bear, the OG Bear and Teddy. But I just find it really saddening because I can tell the influencers that are behind this. They're bringing, obviously they have reputation, they have money, energy, power, marketing power that they've spent to make these logos, websites. Great. But in my head, I was like, I just wish whoever launched Teddy, which again, is it Beerus? Because I feel like he still doesn't admit that he launched it. So who's the dev? I'm not really sure. Uh, to have spent that time on something else that's original. I really wished, you know. Um, and in my head, I just said, remember, meme coins are the main narrative of this bull run. Don't get into a meme coin because a celebrity is hyping it up. Look at Trump, Tate, Iggy, Dave Portnoy. A true meme coin's value is actually in the community. How does it make you feel to be part of that community? Okay. And I basically said people don't care about the utility in this case. And a big shout out to Dirty Crypto. He basically just talked about the liquidity web, and you have great marketing from B Roots. So what about that? This is what Richard Hart wanted because it's paired up with Pump, it's paired up with PulseX, etc. Right? And basically said the majority of the Teddy whales, the liquidity have shifted towards that. And of course, he said you're free to do whatever you want. And it's a very good point. Crypto is a solo sport. At the end of the day, I'm here not saying what's right. I'm here just saying my opinion. This is not financial advice. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not here telling you that, oh yeah, this is gonna make you more money than this. Okay, I'm just here showing us what I believe in. Okay, and then yeah, this is my thoughts. I'm just gonna quickly read you guys through this. And I said, I hear your points, but Teddy wasn't made by the community, and Beard still doesn't want to admit that he launched it. Was there even a vote for the community to be with or against this CTO? Because again, a CTO means a community takeover if they took over the existing token. What's happening here with Teddy is a relaunch. But did it even necessitate a relaunch? I don't really think so. All right. And then the way I see it is that Teddy has an artificial community. Ask yourself this: will it survive if Bewitch doesn't speak about Teddy for a week? Or do we need him and other influencers to keep watering the plant? Because in my eyes, Bear is holding strong in the past few months and is withstanding the test of time. You don't have like big influencers that are talking about this. It's literally just a community that's running it. It's community ran. This is what I like. P.S. I really dislike fighting other projects, and I actually believe both can be money makers. I just don't get why they chose to spend their marketing power, time, energy into a meme coin with the same name. They could have spent a few extra days on the drawing board to come up with something not done before yet. For example, PTGC, right? The team behind PTGC, they didn't need to be like, okay, you know what? We want to be like Teddy Bear, therefore let's just come up with another variation of the name Bear. You know what I mean? Like, why do we have to compete? We can be on separate lanes. We can have multiple lanes. Like, for example, here I mentioned, look at Mog, look at Hog, look at PCAT, PGC, UFO, Baby X, to name a few. Look at them. I'm holding all of them, right? But with Bear, it's like, okay, because they're two very similar. It feels like I have to choose one and commit to it now. And of course, I'm going to choose with the classical one, the one that's OG, the one that's ran by a doxed dev who knows about actual rocket science. So, what are your thoughts? Okay, what are your thoughts? Genuinely, guys, I actually don't know. You know, join my Telegram link in the description. Give me your thoughts there, or comment down below. And yeah, anyways, we're gonna quickly finish through the highlighted comments here. Sami Khaled Coffee is the best PulseChain has. Again, really, really thank you. Very, yeah, I'm very honored to be mentioned within that sentence because when I first started in PulseChain, guys, my videos were getting like, we're talking, I think, double-digit views. Right. I came from the bear market, never really made that much videos about PulseChain. And then one of the first people that I saw was Crypto Coffee. The way that he speaks, guys, I was like, yo, Paulson has some very flippant smart people. And shout out to, I just want to also put in that sentence. And I know he doesn't make YouTube videos, but shout out to Sunny and Sunny's Pub because I learned so much from there. Shout out to those people. Shout out to 777, and of course, guys. People. There's a lot of other people that are missed out in that sentence. There's like I don't know, 80 influencers. Shout out to Saint Wolf. God, there's so many people. Shout out to obviously Dr. Hexologist. And yeah, you're doing other disservice. Or of course, the list goes on. And then here, Crypto7 says, "Nice to be able to agree with everything you say today." So a big shout out to you as well. Thank you very much for that comment. Now, moving on to some other general crypto news. Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth fund discloses a 408 million investment in BlackRock's spot ETF. This is good. And remember, a win for Bitcoin is a win for us. Okay, it will just trickle in slowly because the people now who are coming from Bitcoin, Bitcoin's going to go up now. When the dominance starts falling down, all of a sudden people are going to try to be like, oh, hold on, where's the money going? And remember that herd behavior that 90% of people fall under. They're just going to follow the money. If they're going to see the money goes to Ethereum, they're going to see the money goes to leverages of Ethereum. For example, high cap altcoins. One of them is PulseChain. Guys, it's very, very exciting. I'm telling you, like we have such great times ahead of us. Really, really, such great times ahead of us. But of course, remember that we're still not in altcoin season, so don't expect too much. Like if you're gonna see Bitcoin really perform, don't expect like, oh, it's going to be one-to-one. Pulsechain is going to perform within the same day. There's delays between that. Usually Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up afterwards by a little bit, and then Pulsechain goes up after by a little bit. Sometimes people say actually Pulsechain front runs all of that. So it really depends on what your interpretation is of that based on that. And yeah, in other news here, big shout out to Dr. Hexologist says, captions, breaking news, FTX to distribute over 5 billion to creditors May 30th. And then the Dr. Hexologist says, dang, I wonder what they're going to buy. So I'm interested. That's more money in circulation back to those people. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they're going to use. Of course, most likely it's going to stay within the crypto world. So exciting. Now, in other and unfortunate news, Coinbase, even though I wouldn't really use them because of what they're kind of known for. I've heard people indefinitely getting their wallets, frozen for plausible reasons, but still not. I really dislike that. But anyways, it's still sad to see. Of course, I wish no harm to the users behind it, but it's just a reminder of the risks about KYC, right? They want to trust you, right, to identify who you are. But then do we trust them to hold our crypto assets? Number one, we've seen what happened with Celsius, FTX, etc. But also the other side of things, which is my actual identity. Do I trust with, the way that you're handling my data? Is it secure? Are you, once you use it, can't you just delete it? But I don't think that's the case, obviously, with them. So yeah, hackers are demanding 20 million in Bitcoin from Coinbase, threatening to leak customer data. And now he does go to talk about how he's kind of switching the tables, and I think he's doing a pretty good job with the whole PR side of things. And he goes, Brian Armstrong, again, he chose to be the front-facing person to talk about this and to address this, and he says he won't pay the ransom, fair, and are offering 20 million reward for info leading to the attacker's arrest. So again, I think this is very smart of him to do to kind of switch it around. And I think he even said, I think it's about or 3% that he mentioned in the video. He said it's just actually about 1 or 3% of the users, which obviously is still a lot, even if it's a handful of people. You still don't want to see this because now they have to, and I believe, guys, part of it, and here, this even what Richard had to say about this, what they have. Look at this. Richard Hart quotes from, yeah, it's about, you can see that less than 1%. By the way, when they say less than, it's actually 1%. Let's stop the cap. And here they say what they got: name, address, phone, email, bro. That's like doxed, fully doxed, bro. That's easy for someone to become a target, guys. If you know how much they're holding, if you know where they live, if you know their full name, their email, the phone, like you can clone them. You can do an identity theft from that. Number one. And number two, you can, uh, yeah. And then you have masked social security, last 4 digits only, fair. Masked bank account numbers and some bank account identifiers, whatever that means. Government ID images, driving license, passports. Yeah, you need to reissue that ASAP. Account data, and I hope that 1% of people, I hope they were notified and be like, yo, you got your data leaked. Okay, you can't just be like, oh, we don't know, we're not gonna say who the 1% were. It's just 1%, and now I'm here living my life, hoping that I'm not the unlucky one out of 100. I'm gonna assume that he directly reached out to those people. Account data, balance snapshots. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Guys, people can become targets from this now. You telling me, like, whoa, 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 whoa. I really feel for those people. Okay, I really feel for those people. Limited corporate data, including documents, training material, yada, yada, yada. Fair. Where they didn't get enough private keys. This is one of the issues with centralized exchanges for absolute reasons like this. I hope they actually do mean it, that they didn't get private keys. I hope, but either way, you guys know the drill. This is what Richard Hart has been teaching us for such a long time, and he clearly said it in here, a reminder to people. You do not want to, eliminate the counterparty risk if it's not needed. You don't need to trust someone else to hold your own tokens, guys. Learn and just hold them yourself. You know, eliminate those attack vectors. I understand, you holding it in your own non-custodial, self-custodial wallet, opens a new can of worms in a way, but it's much better. You have freedom, you have ownership. You don't have to worry about what if they freeze my account just because I have a friend who's in that country, or just because, I don't know, I made too much money too quick. Now they were asking me, where did I get this money from? And, customer service is almost non-existent. You don't want to go through that. So please, if you were to to use centralized exchanges, only use them for what they are, as a service. It's the same concept with a petrol station. You're gonna go to a petrol station. You're not gonna trust to keep your car at a petrol station overnight. Hell no. But you're still gonna go to a petrol station to pump your gas, leave. So worst case scenario, if you have to use the centralized exchange, only use it for their services, and definitely use multiple. Okay, same. Diversify. The concept of diversification also goes to centralized exchanges. You know what I mean? So big shout out to Richard Hart, by the way. I'm gonna say here, he is one of the greatest crypto founders ever, in the top three, easily in the top three. Okay, a million or so cryptocurrency folks just had, and you see how it's very smart of them to say, oh, 1%, but they didn't want to say 1 million, right? Because it sounds like a smaller number. It's all it's all like PR stuff, which fair enough. He's choosing, he has to consult with his PR team at the end of the day. He doesn't want to spread fear among people, right? Because this is actually bad news for crypto in general. And he goes, a million or so cryptocurrency folks just had their data stolen, their address, phone, email, last 4 digits, social security, etc., etc. Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex solves this because they're software you run from the comfort of your home and not a honeypot for hackers to steal your data from. Your software doesn't ask you for a stool sample before you run it. True decentralization means there's no big pot of data for a hacker to get at. Peer-to-peer finance was Satoshi's original vision for Bitcoin. Beautiful, well said. Like, couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. And here it goes. Actually, it may be only, okay, fair. It may be only, you see, I like accountability here. It may be only 100K users if their active monthly users were only 10 million, etc. And then he goes 9.7 million exactly, so it's 100K. Um, And that's in a quarter, not a month, or probably less still. But I wouldn't have to do all the guessing if you actually just published the number, right? Instead of hiding it under a percentage. That's exactly what I basically said. Yeah, they're choosing to use that. But, I get their point of view. They don't want to scare people, so let's just use the percentage to make it less worse. I get it. Like, I can't blame the guy. I can't blame the guy. Anyways, moving on to Pulse here. Imagine CPX reach $50, guys. This guy, Thrilly Donka, says $50 hex is roughly 100x of the EHEX all-time high. Not a single person alive is ready for this. Send it. And by the way he drew this candle or this chart line, you can see that it tops just before the end of 2020, just before the beginning of 2026, which is roughly aligned with where I expect things to be. First wave is gonna be in 2025. Second wave is going to be very early 2026. But of course, you can see kind of that goes all the way down. That's probably bear market already by the time it reaches 2027. But of course, always keep an eye on the metrics because you never know. Crypto is being affected by geopolitics, so we can get impeded, but not stifled. Right, because global liquidity index just broke all-time high, I think a month and a half ago. It is very, very bullish. Others, total crypto market, have not broken all-time high. So there's a lot of exciting stuff to keep an eye on. So looking at this in others, let me quickly beep. Let me change that. And if I change that to be the yeah, you can see that we even when we were at very close to that in that false breakout when I thought the altcoin season started, which was still a mini altcoin season wave, we didn't break all-time high. We actually just we reached all-time high, but we didn't break it. You can see here breaking all-time high would be around, well, I guess it was very close, very close. It would be around anything above basically half a trillion. So I'm very, very excited. Anything above half a trillion, we are in prime season prime time altcoin season. So keep that in mind. Okay, you're going to be very, very aware of that. And also do remember when we have waves, just looking at those previous bull runs. You can see here peak 1, peak 2. This is in 2016. Usually each wave at the peak has around 50 days each, guys. So you have 100 days in the next. I'm gonna say this, in the next 365 days. You have 100 days of them, which actually sounds like a lot. When you think about it, you have 100 days out of the next 365 days to take advantage of this crypto, the instrument that allows people to work smart and not hard. Please make the most out of it. Keep learning, guys. Keep learning. Okay. And then here also, if you guys remember the previous video, I talked about Ethereum. You might be missing one, right? When I talked about the sacrifice funds, and I talked about the what is the sacrifice funds going to be used for. Go check it out. Big shout to the guy who made this website, Fabda. Goes, I have received hundreds of pings since this post. The Pulsechain army is no joke. I love this. And he basically announced that he will. Hey, look at this. Hog, I love it. This is really good because look, the views is gonna get people to look. I'll be like, oh, hold on, this is anime. I love anime. Let's see Pulsechain. Oh, Pulsechain related anime. This is beautiful. It's beautiful. And yeah, you can see here. I think he also tweeted that he will list Pulsechain, which by the way, guys, would put us in number 2 spot. He will list Pulsechain next week, so that's gonna be really, really good for exposure. This is what we like to see. Us tapping into other circles. And people are going to see, like, hold on, a cryptocurrency blockchain is the number 2, has more Ethereum than Vitalik himself. Whoa. I want to be part of that bus ride or that train, whatever you call it, whatever analogy you have. So excited. Listen, I do have a lot of PDAI news, but I'm going to keep that for a separate video because I do need to shoot off. Today's a busy day for me here on Saturday. But the final thing, I'm going to end it with this, okay? Serious question from Tam Hex. Big shout to her. She goes, now that Hex is an option, why gamble on college? And the time it takes for you to complete a degree, let alone pay off the student loans, you could already be wealthy, independent, and even retired. 4+ years of debt and uncertainty versus a trustless system designed to reward you, not institutions. It just doesn't add up. Be smart, be free, choose Hex. Now, this is my answer. And listen, I'm not gonna tell you guys to go to college because I did, and it kind of helped because I have a safety net, right? Because I can now spend some of my, I actually now have cash flow, and that's what I did towards the end of 2023. I started, accumulating slowly in the positions in the projects that I believe in, and it helped me greatly. So I'm going to tell you, having a cash flow is great. Now, it's another question. Do you need a degree to generate a cash flow? You probably don't, right? But I'm just going to say, I'm not going to answer the question of Hex versus college. That's not the answer. But in general, it did kind of inspire me to write this post here where she said, people don't realize that there's more to life, that they can be aspirational with their goals. They tend to follow the crowd and go with the flow, staying within the status quo. That rhymed. Whoa. I didn't mean that to happen. And he goes, it just comes down to, are you surrounding yourself with the right people? Are you the smartest person in the room? And if you are, then you're in the wrong room. Even if you went to university and now you have a regular 9 to 5 job, keep learning. Personally, for me, I'm a student of life. There's always room for improvement, and there's always something new to learn. I still have a lot of things that I want to learn within the DeFi space, within crypto, etc. Smart contracts, Solidity, um, you know, web development, etc. And here, but majority of people are ignorant and or complacent. Reminds me of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Even Richard Hart spoke about it. Embrace the unknown and remember, in a world of imperfect information, those who know more win. I believe in information asymmetry is what separates the winners from the losers. You're in control of your destiny. So believe in the process, believe in God, and great things will happen to you. If you're patient, if you delay your gratification, because of course everything in life, everything great in life comes from delayed gratification. Even in gym, even if getting the job that you want, for example, you have to keep educating yourself, etc. Everything is the same concept everywhere. Even in a discipline, and you want to be a great boxer, you want to bench, I don't know, 140 kg, it's going to take time. You're not going to see, if you want to, lose body fat, it's going to take time. You're going to have to stick to that process. You won't see immediate effects. And you're going to start asking yourself, like, is this even worth doing? Am I even doing the right thing? As long as you believe in it, you've done your research on, of course, everything, stick to that, delay your gratification, and you'll realize. So guys, I'm so excited for Pulsechain. We've been through this. 2024, we've been through a tough summer, but then we ended 2024 with a banger, bro. With a banger. We started 2024 also with a banger. INC went from 40 cents to almost $10. And that wasn't even in altcoin season. Bitcoin dominance was still very high. ETH BTC was bad. It was falling down slowly. So I'm very excited for the future. And yeah, this is, by the way, the Dunning-Kruger thing, where, majority of people who don't know that much, they feel the most confidence in this phase, right? They're ignorant, right? They feel like, oh yeah, I know everything. And then you have this person here with kind of, what was it called? The imposter syndrome. Yeah, imposter syndrome, where like, oh, I'll never understand this. I'll never be able to do this. Oh my God, I don't know anything, right? But then you start embracing the unknown. It's like, okay, instead of saying I'll never be able to do this, I have a lot to learn. I'm so excited. Oh, this is a challenge I want to take. You know what I mean? And you'll slowly be like, okay, hold on, this is starting to make sense. The concepts, pattern recognition. It's so exciting, guys. So again, if you are new to crypto, I hope you guys, take your time to learn everything. Don't rush anything. And, just I guess for this occasion, I do have 2 crypto courses that I have created. Yes, they are paid for, but for this video and just in general, really, you can spread this word of mouth if you want. You can use a code free and it will give you those courses for absolutely $0. I just want you guys to learn something. They're very short, by the way. This is 1.5 hours worth of, I think, 6 or 7 videos, and the same thing with this 1.5 hours of 6 videos talking about the cybersecurity within crypto. Very important. Do not skip this, guys. Even if you've been in crypto in the previous bull run and the one before, I promise you, you will learn something that you don't know in this course. Different attack vectors and how to mitigate against them. Okay, so do that. And of course, if you're very, very new to crypto, this is a very good course. Learn Crypto, the Ultimate Guide. Takes you through the theoretical side of things. What are the terminology? What's the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin? The Bitcoin, the Ethereum upgrade, etc. The different ERC20s. yada yada. Even we tap into technical analysis and of course the technical side of things of how Bitcoin even works under the hood. For example, what are mempools, right? So use code free, spread the word, and of course, if you enjoy those courses, I would really appreciate your ratings. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm going to end the video there. I need to actually shoot off. Yeah, and by the way, just quickly, one of the biggest gainers today is X. So big shout out to X and also Dominance here. I think I saw that they are printing 4% now. 4.22%, and this is remember printing WPLS 4.77% data ROI. Dominance here is paying you in PWTC, and it's automatic. All you got to do is buy and hold the token. There's no button to stake it. You don't need to do that. There's no, oh, buy it. You know what I mean? Like you buy the token, you hold the token, and you see the money start coming in. And it's such a beautiful project. So yeah, big shout out to them, of course. Just wanted to remind that. And just in general, really, PDAI is at it's at 0019. So really good to see that we're roughly, I think, what is that makes it like a 15x from all-time high or 14x from all-time high. So excited to see. And of course, PwC is over that $300 range, which puts us less than a 10x, guys. It's less than a 10x to all-time high. And remember, once we break all-time high, that's price discovery. So who knows where we're going to be after that, where we're going to be, what higher heights we're going to reach. Very excited for Pulsechain. Keep an eye on my next video. Might post that later today, actually, when I come back. I might talk about my top 5 favorite meme coins. So, put the notification bell on for that. I might even mention an honorable mention at the end of that video of a meme coin that possibly none of you guys have really heard. So we shall see. Comment down below as well, which meme coin should I cover? And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. You guys have a great rest of your day. And thank you very much for watching my videos. You guys are amazing. You guys make me feel honored to make these videos, to educate people, to make Pulsechain accessible, demystify the world of DeFi as well. I believe this is my purpose, and I hope we all win together. There's enough money in this world for all of us to win. I don't need to gatekeep information. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.